Welcome back to Woke Folks. Get ready for a whirlwind of eye-opening confrontations and unfiltered reality checks.
Oh, that's the tent. That's the tent. What are you guys?
Boise Cascade.
What is that? Like dishwasher stuff?
Products and building materials. We've been in Boise for almost 70 years.
Oh, okay. I'm from
The country.
I'm from Nashville.
Oh, nice.
I came here just to ask one question. What is a woman?
What is a woman? Me.
Are you a woman?
I'm not a woman, but it's anyone who identifies as it.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have certain chromosomes.
I don't think so. We're good.
I traveled the country just to ask the question.
Proud of you.
I'm proud of you. That make a new friend?
As soon as an LGBTQ wokey hears a question, she's instantly triggered. A knee-jerk reaction if there ever was one.
But I never get mad. I'm understanding, in this, if, someone assumes I'm a woman, it's just simple as, oh, I'm actually not a woman, I'm a man, my pronouns are he, him, and simple as that. If they try to be, if they're pushy about, telling me, no, you are a woman, then that's kind of like, okay, I'm not going to listen to this conversation because I know who I am. I don't need other people coming in here telling me who I am.
What would you say to someone if they were like, well, biologically, you are a woman? How would you respond?
I would agree. I was born a woman, and me and many trans people do not deny that fact. We know who we were born as, and we accept that. That's kind of what's part of it is we know who we were born as, but we feel truly as someone else. I feel like I'm a man, yet I was born a woman, but I'm perfectly happy with my body and happy with how I was born, and I'm okay with it.
So, what about conservatism do you think is weird?
I mean, depends on what conservatives you're talking about, you know what I mean? I mean, like anybody who wants to limit the freedoms of other people, I don't think that's a good thing, and I think that's kind of a weird thing to do.
Do you think conservatives are the ones trying to limit that?
Well, I mean, there's people on both sides that try to limit people's freedom. It's not just one side that tries to limit freedom, but at the moment, it's mostly conservatives doing it, yeah. And obviously not every conservative agrees with it, but, it just seems like a lot of them are doing that.
Do you think it's weird to put tampons in children's boys' bathrooms?
I don't care.
Do you not think that's weird, though?
I really don't care, though. I mean...
But it's weird.
I guess that can be your opinion. Everybody's allowed to have their own opinion.
Do you think it's weird?
I don't care. I really don't care about it. I don't think about it.
A wokey-born female with a trans woman partner can't see they're essentially a straight couple. Sometimes it's all about perspective.
Mental health issues?
I have in the past, anxiety, depression.
Yep.
I went to doctors, I was trying to go to therapists.
So imagine having that on top of feeling like you're in the wrong body. On top of feeling like you weren't born right. How dysregulating that is. Being born in a sense and feeling like, oh my God, like I'd rather be dead than be in this body. What would you prefer, being dead or that kid being in that body?
Well, scientific studies actually show that there's 3 stages of transitioning. Sure. Throughout all 3 stages, the suicide rates stay exactly the same.
Okay.
The only difference at this point,
because the social impact.
Causation.
Sure.
So we looked at an effect. Yeah, but they can be flawed. They can be fallacies.
Definitely.
Right? Fallacious. So if we look, like let's say right now, we look at NBA players and we say 78% of them are black and they're 6'5".
Yeah.
Are they discriminating against me because I'm Mexican and I'm 5'8"? But that's like we look at the effect and then we instantly just put whatever cause fits our narrative.
Apply that to the other. Tell me how that applies to the other.
To the kids?
Yep.
Well, the stats that you kind of like you just said the kids are gonna pretty much commit suicide, right? If they don't.
I said that kids want to belong.
Mm-hmm.
And they will find any way they can to, and if they can't find ways to belong, suicide probably feels like the best answer for a lot of people if they're in like not supported environments.
That's what I'm saying though is, let's say a kid goes on puberty blockers. You said they're temporary. Do you know how many of them actually end up going on the more extreme ones?
I don't.
98% of them.
Right.
The other stat, so that's a big stat by the way. So they're not temporary. It's permanent. Because hormones, they cut off your, and if you want to.
Why are you so against that?
Because there's a lot of kids that are actually committing suicide after doing this.
Why are you so against that? Because of the
because I actually, hold on,
your kids aren't trans.
We don't know if they're going to be trans in the next 5 years.
It's true.
Right.
And if they are, then you should support them through that.
So if they say I want to drink, should I let them?
I mean, as an adult, as a grown-up, you get to have that choice, right? Like, these are your...
Facts and science take the stage, owning a wokey on the topic of transitioning children.
Haley.
Trump or Kamala?
Kamala.
Okay, why do you say that?
I love black women and I don't like Trump.
Did you hear about her trying to pass the anti-Trump act where she's going to tax Trump voters to help with the environment more with global warming? She's trying to tax them a little bit more.
That's good. I didn't know about that, but that's really good.
That's really good. Okay, you think you would go for that?
Yeah.
You would vote towards that?
Of course.
Okay. She's trying to like cut down more trees to like help with global warming and the air pollution.
That's also good.
She was talking about like abolishing the 13th Amendment to help unify her people and things like that. How would that help with global warming and her people?
I don't.
You know how she claims black?
What?
How do you feel about her trying to rebuke the 19th Amendment to help with voting rights and make it more smoother and better in the near future?
I think that's good. It probably would allow more people to actually want to come out and vote, give them the right to vote.
She's trying to raise the age of getting your license as a man because she thinks men cause most accidents on the street. How safe would you feel with less men on the street?
Good.
How do you feel about her trying to ban the 19th Amendment to help voting go by faster in future elections? Because like the 19th Amendment blocks certain people from voting.
Yeah.
She's trying to like ban that, the 19th Amendment, and have everyone vote, you know?
Which I agree with.
You agree with banning the 19th Amendment?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. My favorite policy of hers is her 46% tax on everybody.
Yeah.
Would that help everyone like be neutral and help the...
Yeah, I definitely think as long as it's everybody, not like a specific demographic of people, I think that's fair.
And I think, yeah. She's trying to also rebuke the 13th Amendment to help people get together and be more together, you know what I mean? How would that help the economy and the people and population?
I think it'll just bring everybody closer together, more love on the streets. We need that. More love on the street.
Okay.
If everybody's okay, then...
A clueless Kamala supporter gets hilariously trolled by a reporter's seemingly simple questions.
What is carbon dioxide?
I went to high school, but that's carbon dioxide is a gas.
Okay.
I'm not a professional to talk about carbon dioxide so much, but.
Well, you want us to abolish it, right?
No, there's always going to be carbon dioxide.
Right. Let me back up because I want to. I mean, you're here as an expert. Tell me more about what carbon dioxide is.
I'm here as an expert cross-country skier who sees the changes in my winters and the landscape that I live in Alaska. And so carbon dioxide is what I see it as is, you know, it's a gas that exists in our atmosphere. And
what, is it the major part of our atmosphere? Or?
It's a huge part of our atmosphere, yes.
It's actually a very small part of our atmosphere.
Gotcha. Well, okay. But, yeah, I don't know. What are you asking specifically?
Well, you said we need to reduce carbon dioxide emissions. I'd like to know first if you know what it is.
A climate activist is left speechless when a senator cleverly uses carbon dioxide facts to challenge their stance.
Family member came to you and lied about being black. Would you care?
It would be a little concerning why they randomly started saying that.
Why would that be concerning? Would it be concerning because they're suffering clearly from something which is a delusion?
I mean, I'm not going to air that.
What do you mean you're not going to answer that? Why would it be concerning if one of your family members came to you and said that they were a black man if they were a white woman? Why would that be concerning to you?
Again, I don't know why this is such a honed-in conversation. I really just, to be nice, I don't like saying a crazy opinion on this because
I already know what your feelings are in the matter. I asked you a question.
I think race and gender are different.
I'm going to ask you one more time. Why would it be of concern to you?
Because they are not that race.
Right, they are not that thing. So you would think what? Why would them not being that thing be of concern to you?
That's a good question. I don't know why it would be concerning.
But then why did you just say you would be concerned by it?
I would be concerned because they are identifying as a race that they're not.
Right, so they're lying to you. That's what the concern is. You know that they're lying to you, so that would spring delusion inside of your brain. You would say they were delusional. There's no other reason you could possibly give for why that would be concerning, and if you can, I'd love to hear it.
But delusion and a lie is a little bit different, don't you think? A liar, a good liar is whatever, but someone who's actually delusional and is having a mental crisis is very different.
What do you consider it to be delusional if one of your family members who was a white woman came over to you and said that they were a black man?
Yeah, I think it's delusional at that point.
Yes, exactly. It's delusional because
I don't
they're lying
think-
to you and telling you that there's something that they are not.
What
Why
if they
would the
believe
same
it?
thing not apply to sex? I'm so confused.
It's still delusional.
Delusion is believing your own lie.
Yes. So it's still a lie.
People argue gender is like a construct, right? Of
Yeah, but race is a construct from your worldview too.
race is a construct.
A pro-trans wokey falters under the weight of a perfectly logical question about gender.
Quick, you're saying that the only reason she was elected is because she's black? So that trumps her being a district attorney and all the
This is
accomplishments
not
she
my
has?
words. I'm just going on Joe Biden's own words.
Okay.
Joe Biden said, I'm going to preset criteria based on black women, and therefore she met that criteria, and that's why she was selected.
No, why? I think what he was trying to say is, she's just black. She was just calling her black. She's not saying I'm doing. He's not saying. He's not saying I'm doing this because she's black. That's not what she
He
said.
made a public promise before the selection even began and the process began. I will put a black woman on the ticket.
So you're saying her being district attorney doesn't matter. That's not why.
No,
But
she
yet,
did- no,
but
no, I'm
yet
saying she
Trump
did an awful
being
job.
a failed businessman and making all the weird comments he's made.
Hold on a
That
second.
doesn't have any like.
What I'm getting at, though, is that if she was not a black woman, she never would have been chosen as vice president. Her record was abysmal. She was a terrible attorney general in California. She did poorly.
Charlie Kirk brings out the big guns of facts against a wokie's admiration for Kamala Harris.
75 studies that shows that it reduces overdoses, increases access to health services, and is not associated with increased crime or increased drug use. So what reasons do you have for being against it?
Do you think that San Francisco is a clean city?
So they don't have clean injection sites, I don't think, but no, I guess not.
I believe they do have injection sites.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. So do you think San Francisco is a clean city?
No, I do not.
Okay, so why do you think that is?
I'm not sure. I guess just a lot of crime and homelessness and whatnot.
Sure. So we have 96,700 overdoses in America right now. Off the top of my head, 72% of opioid, like 72% of all deaths for young men are opioid related. Having quote unquote safe injection sites is nothing more than subsidizing an addiction to get somebody closer to the inevitable death.
In this meta-analysis from Vancouver and
Right.
Australia,
So-
it shows that it lowers.
I
it's
am
linked to
positive
less.
that study says that. Post-COVID, I think any study from the major health industries that contradict what I am seeing is steaming hot garbage.
Well,
But here's my evidence. If you walk the streets of San Francisco, you will see littering of needles, feces. You will see homeless people that are completely addicted. And let me talk more morally here, okay? If you have somebody who is addicted, is it better to further their addiction or get them help so that they can break free of that addiction? That's a moral question, not a scientific one.
Injection sites. Watch as Charlie Kirk dismantles a wokie's support with hard-hitting truths.
Say that.
I just need somebody a little more upfront and at least consistent.
Yeah, she was totally upfront, like during the debate when she was talking about trying to rebuke the 19th Amendment to help with like voting and make it smoother. How do you feel that would help?
I mean, I appreciate the thought. Not a lot of presidents think about that sort
Yeah.
of thing because usually it's better suited for them in their favor. So that's cool.
So rebuking it would be better for the economy and like voting and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. What about the fact she's trying to pass a thing called the tree proclamation, where she's trying to cut down more trees? Why are you laughing, bro? She was talking about raising the age to get your license as a male to make it safer for women to drive on the road. Would you be safer without Red Eye Recce, Hellcat SRT on the roads?
No. Kamala.
What is your favorite policy of Kamala's?
I just like the fact that she supports women's rights. I'm honestly not that very fond of a lot of her police force policies, but I think she's honestly the lesser of two evils, so.
Kamala.
What's your favorite policy that Kamala has?
I don't even know none of them.
You don't know none of them?
I just know I don't want to vote for Trump.
Hey, completely normal. Okay, what about you?
Like she said, I don't have a particular policy. It's just it's more like who's the best, like out of the worst, you know?
She was trying to ban like the 19th Amendment to help more voters come in and vote and stuff in future elections, would that be good or bad?
I think it'd be good. Yeah, I think it would be good too. Yeah.
Bringing more people and stuff.
Yeah,
Also, she's trying to like abolish the 13th Amendment to bring people more together that don't usually be together, you know? And it's trying to help the community and unify people. How would that help the population in America?
It would make people more comfortable being around different cultures and stuff like that, because a lot of people are really judgmental. So I just feel like the best way for everybody to be unified is just to be comfortable with it.
The future's looking interesting. A Wokie's college antics leave us pondering the educational system.
As I didn't check anyone's like biology or chromosomes before coming here, you can say it's an act, but the truth is it's an act that everybody plays into. Everybody looks at how a person looks like and says, oh, they're a woman or male based off of that.
If you grow an afro and wear a wig and put, a lot of black makeup on, you're not a black woman, So your appearance doesn't actually mean anything. You're not black. And the same way that I'm not white. So if we can trick someone, you might be able to trick me. I think Richard Dolezal did a really good job tricking people into believing that she was black for a long time by darkening her skin, getting super tan and wearing fake wigs, but she wasn't actually a black woman. So how you feel on the inside and how you present, you might be able to trick people, but that makes you a liar, not a woman.
Candace Owens expertly debunks an LGBTQ activist's arguments in a battle of wits.
If you do not date fat people because you just happen to view fatness as neutral but not be particularly attracted to it, fine. That's a preference. If you don't date fat people because you think being fat means that they are gross, lazy, live an unhealthy lifestyle, or are embarrassing to be seen with in public, that's fatphobic. But to insist your preference is for people who aren't lazy, sloppy, and disgusting and unhealthy, meaning that means you prefer skinny people because all fat people are those other things, that's actually bigoted. That's actually deciding that one group is all the same because of how they look. Hope that makes sense. Have a good day.
One Wokie claims avoiding dating fat people is fatphobic, confusing phobia with preference. Big difference.
Mention parental consent, how we're mocking trans people, how it's hurting them.
I was not talking about biological transitioning. I'm talking about people identifying.
You can't biologically transition. You can only castrate yourself.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
transitioning is a fiction. Identity. No matter how much surgery you get, no matter how many drugs you take, you're still a man, you're still a woman, period. You stay the way that you are. You can look different. Why? You can't change your chromosomes.
Yeah, but that's not what defines a man or a woman.
But so let's get to it. Hold on. What is a woman? What is a woman?
There's a very simple answer to that.
Say that again.
There's a very simple answer. A woman is someone who identifies as such.
Guys. You can't answer the question.
I did answer the question.
Hold on.
That's an answer. How's that not an answer?
If you in freshman introductory to logic, if you said, please define a door is a thing that looks like a door. They say no.
How else would you define it? You define a door.
X chromosomes, an adult female with the capacity to menstruate, have birth, a womb, and a uterus, and a vagina.
You choose that definition.
It's not choosing.
That is a choice.
It is.
Language is a choice. Language is not based on biology.
So
you choose words.
Before we descend too far into your postmodernist chaos, let me ask you another question. In the human species, what categories are there between male and female?
I'm not sure what you're asking. You mean like traits?
In the human species, what other categories are there in addition to male and female?
I'm not entirely sure. There's plenty. It changes rapidly. I don't know the whole list. There's intersex. People are born with
so has there ever been an intersex person that has the capacity to impregnate themselves? No. So they either have sex organs of more the female or the male, and intersex is a deformity. So it's saying like this, for example, in a normal human being, you're born with 2 arms and 2 legs. If someone's born without a leg, we don't say, oh my goodness, that changes the entire human species. And it's
gender ideology gets a reality check from Charlie Kirk, leaving a Wokie humiliated.
You support this demonic organization. Guys, look at this. Look at this hypocrisy. Planned Parenthood was founded by Margaret Sanger, a eugenicist. She wanted to eliminate those that were inferior from the pool, from the gene pool. Okay, so why are you supporting that? You see, these people are hypocrites. They're utter hypocrites. They support Planned Parenthood. They support Planned Parenthood. They support bodily autonomy. But we just saw over there, the lady said stop speaking to him. Where was the bodily autonomy there? Why can't she think for herself? Why can't she speak for herself? Why? How could you support this right here? Hey, how could you support this here? That's what I thought. Why do you support that organization? Can you tell me why you support killing black babies? Why do you support that? We're gonna preach the good news right now, lady. We're gonna come back and preach the good news. This isn't your body, this is God's body, okay? God can take your temple any day now.
A man highlights the hypocrisy of shouting wokey women who repeat the same thing without substance.
I used to let my friends use the bathroom in my house, but I've since learned how unsanitary that is. Before entering the potty area, I require guests to put on these foot covers, and first-timers are required to read the rules. The most important rule is to dig at least 6 inches from an existing stick, because that's where another guest has dug a hole. It's pretty simple. You just dig a hole, do what you have to do, and put your toilet paper on top. I provide seeds that must be placed inside to keep my garden growing, and once that's placed inside, you cover it up with the dirt you dug up, and then place some leaves on top. The last thing you have to do is mark the spot with one of these sticks. I do live in Arizona and it gets really hot, so I provide a bucket with refreshments and snacks that visitors can snack on while using the bathroom. And yes, there is a privacy curtain. Once that's done, they can take the covers off their feet and wash them in this bucket. Then they have to place them in this jar so that the next guest can use them. Once my guest is done using the bathroom, I require them to sign this journal. And I do respectfully ask for tips because maintaining this area can get a...
When a wokey says she has a home, she might just mean it, literally.
Smith, whose 15-year-old daughter was raped in a bathroom by a boy wearing girls' clothes, and the Loudoun County School Board covered it up because it would have interfered with their gendered policy during Pride Month. And that man, Scott Smith, because he went to a school board and tried to defend his daughter's rights, was condemned internationally. Do you apologize to Scott Smith and his 15-year-old daughter, Judge?
Senator, anyone whose child was raped is the most horrific crime I can imagine, and is certainly entitled and protected by the First Amendment to protest to their school board about this.
But he was cited by the School Board Association as a domestic... Judge, this is shameful. Your performance is shameful. Thank God you are not on the Supreme Court. You should resign in disgrace, Judge.
A senator tears into a wokey judge's arguments with precision and ferocity.
Want to catch wokey moments in 4K? Watch till the end, subscribe, like the video, and comment wokies for a chance to win a brand new iPhone 16 or a cash prize. Also, don't forget to check out the next video on the end screen for more chances to win.
Well, in Iceland, an energy company was about to go bankrupt. A new manager came in and said, okay, we've got to throw everything out and start again, and made a conscious decision based on his belief that it's a human right that men and women are paid equally. Went out of his way to make the workforce within that company 50-50 as much as he could in terms of men and women being represented. So we're talking about engineers, we're talking about tradespeople, we're talking about in workshops, we're talking at the managerial level.
If you hire 50% women engineers and 50% male engineers, then the women engineers are less qualified because the pool of engineers is lower among women. So you can't hire 50% women engineers without producing a decrement in the quality of the engineers. The selection pool is too small. You can't do that on a large scale. You might be able to do that in one company. Look, you think about it mathematically. If there's 10 times as many male engineers as there are female engineers, and you insist upon hiring 50-50, then obviously the degree to which the female engineers are proficient cannot be the same as the degree to which the male engineers are proficient. It's mathematically impossible.
Jordan Peterson uses math and logic to challenge a wokey anchor on equal employment, proving it's not just about numbers.
I just made pronoun bracelets, and I would like to explain them. This one stands for he, him, so green and blue, more masculine colors, I guess. This one stands for she, her, so pink and purple, more feminine color. And then this one stands for they, them, and it's yellow and orange, which are like gender neutral colors. When I wear this one, it means that I just go by they, them. When I wear these two together, it means I go by she, them. When I wear these together, it means I go by he, them. When I wear all of them, it means that I go by all pronouns. And when I wear these together, it means that I go by she, him. I'm gonna wear them all right now because I go by all pronouns right now. My pronoun, preference has changed 3 times today. This does not happen very often with me, but I'm wearing all 3 right now.
A wokey makes pronouns bracelets and then gets offended when addressed incorrectly. Keeping up is tougher than it looks.
When does life begin?
Why is that? That's impossible to define. It's impossible to define. I think so. Life is very abstract.
Are you alive?
I'd like to think so.
Okay. Are the people around you alive?
As far as I know.
Okay. What gives you that belief?
Intuition.
Intuition, not the fact that they're breathing, or we could take their pulse rate, or their heart is working, they have brain waves, consciousness.
You can't know anything for sure.
You're way overthinking it. What does fetus mean in Latin?
I don't speak Latin.
Yeah, little human.
Oh. What does it mean in English?
Yeah, little human.
Unborn baby.
Right. So the reason people use fetus because it makes themselves feel good.
Okay.
Because they don't want to use the word baby, because they want to try to cloak the horror of a. So they say, oh, it's a fetus, as if it's like a rhinoceros or if it's like a giraffe. No, it's the same species as a human. It's just not as big as you are or as advanced as you are. So it feels better to be able to terminate that being. Should we try to limit suffering on this on Earth?
Obviously.
Okay. So if I tell you that the majority of that occur, the baby feels pain, should we probably stop doing that?
Well, it's not that simple.
It's actually not that complex.
Charlie Kirk uses facts and precise language to school a pro-abortion wokey.
I'm literally on fire right now. I just got off the phone with my wife, who took my 9 and 7-year-old boys to the doctor today to get physicals for tackle football and school next year and all that other shit. My 9-year-old son went in first, and the first thing this woman asks him is if he identifies as a boy, a girl, gender fluid, or non-binary. My son, he's never heard of anything before. You've been dealing with him your whole life. He is clearly a boy's boy. So what are you, trying to plant a seed in his head? The only thing I could be thankful for is that my wife took them instead of me. And props to my wife, because she said something. And if she didn't, they would have asked my 7-year-old son the same damn question. This is ridiculous. And to the people out there to think that there's nothing wrong with that, and I'm just a transphobe or all that, this is, and there's something wrong with you.
Doctors are accused of pushing LGBTQ agendas, and a concerned dad steps up to protect children from what he sees as undue influence.
I work for Citibank, and I love to crack!
Did the gas canister consent to what you were doing to it earlier?
I mean, it doesn't have to, because we've been in love for the entirety of my life. These freaking assholes are blocking my way to work, and I left my fucking bio to rail lines in at my house.
Oh, I love you, my baby! Jobs! Freedom! Money! Gold watch!
You just don't know what your stand is. My stand is to frack the Amazon rainforest and cut all the trees down immediately. Fracking saves lives. Fracking is what brings this country together.
In the Gulf South, in Louisiana, in Texas, in British Columbia, in America! Yeah!
They talk about the environment. They want to talk about kindness. They want to talk about caring for another. Okay? What about money?
A man trolls climate activists in such a funny way, you won't be able to stop laughing.
Going into Target and stealing clothes, it's not a crime. Your resources.
Not a crime?
Hell no. Target enslaved my ancestors a year ago.
Target?
Target!
You're from Oakland?
Yeah. I'm black, I'm a woman, a worker, and I'm queer. So I've got 4 different oppressional systems already fighting against me.
You were upset a little bit? Help me understand Oakland a little bit more.
The crime is because people are homeless. We are stealing basic necessities.
Sure.
People are bipping into cars because they are on the street, so I wouldn't necessarily consider it to be crime.
There is a little bit of that. We can't deny that, right?
Personally, I don't look at a crime. If you're going into Target, a multi-billion-dollar company, and stealing clothes, it's not a crime.
That's where we disagree, I think.
I mean, you're white and I'm black. There's a whole nother socioeconomical piece that I have never had access to.
Walmart's in Chicago. They're gone. Why are they gone?
Whose fault is that?
People stealing from Walmart.
Why did Walmart come into an urban city already and displace thousands of black people in an area where we needed housing first? Once we have housing, you can sustain yourself from there on in.
Then all we have are corner stores in Oakland when we run out all these large businesses, right?
Our corner stores are mom and pop's owned. They're black and brown owned. We don't steal from our corner stores. That's the crazy part.
Security footage shows a man walking into Ideal Market in Oakland and seconds later ripping out the store's ATM. It happened around 10 p.m. Thursday night while the store was still open with an employee inside.
stealing from Target, a wokie justifies it with a bizarre historical argument that misses the mark.
The U.S. is the best country in the world. Shouldn't we be obligated to like help people that are suffering?
Yes, America is the best country. Therefore, its citizens should come first, not foreigners. I think it's wrong if you guys are afraid to walk the streets of Denver at night. I wouldn't walk the streets of Denver at night. Would you guys? No! That's a breakdown of the fundamental role of government. Would you guys walk the streets of LA at night? No. The streets of San Francisco? No. We can't walk our own greatest cities at night, and we want to bring in more people from the third world? Hell no. We should be able to walk all of our cities at night and feel safe and secure in the homeland that our parents and grandparents built, and not have to wonder if we're going to get mugged or That's a basic promise that government has broken down.
Charlie Kirk passionately argues why America is the greatest and why Americans should always come first.
They go for wars you probably fucking support.
No, wait, Donald Trump didn't support the Iraqi war. Well, because I think Washington has become corrupt over the last decades, and Donald Trump is the first non-politician. Because politicians like Hillary Clinton have had pay-for-play programs and let Americans die overseas to create scarcity. Okay?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I am right. And I have done my research, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, I have.
You just said that most billionaires don't.
Do you realize, let me ask you a question, do you realize that the same people that fund ISIS fund Hillary Clinton?
You're a dumb piece of fucking shit.
No, no. You can look this up. This is public information, man. This is public information. I'm brainwashed. Let me hear your facts and evidence.
Oh my God.
Let me hear your facts and evidence. I'm brainwashed with facts and evidence. Let me hear yours.
Have you watched this?
How is Donald Trump racist? How is Donald Trump racist?
Never happened. He wants to build it. It's recorded. He said that. It's fucking
for our border. For our border.
Oh my God. You are such a piece of shit!
I'm just trying to have a debate.
When faced with facts, wokey women unravel, resorting to lunatic behavior as their arguments collapse.
I just want to know, I mean, have you called French foreign minister, for instance?
No, but we're in the process of arranging for me to go to France and to Germany.
Do you know who he is?
Don't start pub quizzing me, Dermot.
Well,
don't start pub quizzing me.
He's the French foreign minister. Do you know his name?
No, and I'm not going to start answering your questions on this.
Well, it was just we had that one you were shadow defence secretary on DEFCON.
Do you know what really upsets me about your attitude to me is that you do this with me. I don't remember you doing it with anybody else, you know. Have you done it to David Davis? Have you asked these questions? Do Sky journalists have a go at Boris Johnson on this basis?
I've had discussions
How about
with
Liam Fox?
I've had discussions with David Davis and many discussions with Liam Fox.
I mean, honestly.
A simple question triggers a feminist, leading to a hilarious meltdown.
You're not even oppressed. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. What do you know about me to say I'm not oppressed?
You're not.
How do you know? How do you know?
White, number one.
Oh, I'm white, so I'm not impressed. I'm not oppressed. Okay, so are you oppressed then?
I'm part Mexican, so yeah, more than you.
Oh, okay, so that's not. So just because you identify with something, you say you have a different view.
Because of your dissent.
So wait now, the veritable fact is now racist.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. What are you guys protesting?
I'm protesting.
Why don't you leave? Leave.
So we should leave. Why don't we take This is an illegal occupation.
Hold on. Hold on. You're protesting America. Yep. Okay. Why don't you go back to Mexico then?
No. Why? If you don't like a place,
because you want to get. They don't want to leave because this is the greatest country in the world. They don't want to leave because this is the greatest country.
A patriotic man confronts wokies, challenging them to leave America if they dislike it so much. For more intense debates and laugh out loud moments, click on the screen right now.